Hello everyone. I am so excited to be here today because I cannot wait to share some things with you that have changed my life for the better in ways I never even dreamed possible. And those secrets have to do with happiness, something that impacts every aspect of our lives, from our physical and mental well-being to our relationships and our careers. So let me ask you, how would you rate your happiness? Anybody feel there's any room for improvement? Yeah, you're not alone. According to Gallup polling, for most of the 70 years prior to 2020, less than half of people felt that they were very happy. And in 2019, the least happy year in the study, almost 15% of people didn't even feel they were fairly happy. And that was before COVID. I know, for me, most of my life I fell into the not too happy group at the bottom. In fact, I remember wishing for most of my life that I was never even born. And that's not a great surprise. I mean, as far as I can tell, I come from a long line of unhappiness. My family seemed to believe that happiness was only possible in fairy tales and seemed to just accept unhappiness as an inevitable reality, just how life was. Now I can see that's in large part due to thoughts and beliefs and attitudes and even DNA that was passed down through the generations. And the constant reinforcement drilled those limiting beliefs and attitudes deep into my subconscious, just like it had in my family. Maybe some of you can relate. One of the things I learned was that you didn't want anything too good to happen because that probably meant something bad was just around the corner. We called that the Rousseau luck. You know, if you don't have bad luck, you don't have any luck at all. I also learned that the goal of life was just to survive. And to survive, you needed to struggle, to persist, and to be practical. Forget following your dreams or doing what you love. Jim Carrey put it best in an amazing graduation speech, calling it fear disguised as practicality. And boy, did that resonate with me when I heard it. But as a child, I didn't realize I was learning these things or even that there was another way. Until one day, when I was a senior in high school, I got a letter from my best friend who'd gone off to college telling me we couldn't be friends anymore because I was too negative all the time. I was shocked, but it was also an eye-opener. And now I'm very grateful to have had that heads up. But at the time, I didn't even, even though I realized there was a problem, I had no idea that was within my power to change it, much less how to do that. The first big step for me was changing my influences. Motivational speaker Jim Rohn taught that you are the average of the 5 people that you associate most with. Think about that. Now, in our crucial early years, when we're just first forming our neural pathways and we're most susceptible to influence, my only real influences were my unhappy family. So when I moved a couple of hours away from my dream job, I realized I was feeling better and making friends more easily. Some of them are still in my circle today. And then I moved all the way across the country to sunny Las Vegas. And between the distance and the sunshine, things really started to turn around. Sure, there were hiccups along the way, but I ended up finding like-minded people who modeled better mindsets and supported me in learning new ways of being. I spent decades studying, observing, and listening, trying to find my way to a better place. It seemed like I'd make some progress, and then suddenly I'd end up going backwards. And I now realize that I was mostly learning it but not living it, instead falling back on what I'd learned growing up. In late 2019, I found myself in my most toxic work environment yet and was debating what to do. And then the pandemic struck and the job was eliminated, so problem solved there. I took that as a push from the universe to finally take the time and space I needed to heal and grow and follow the breadcrumbs being dropped for me. So earlier this year, when I was doing an online challenge, they asked the question, what lights you up? And I realized I had no idea. Did I even know what happiness was or what it felt like? And how could I figure out what I wanted to bring into my life if I didn't even know that? And how, at 57, was I only just now asking these questions? And that's when an email from Marci Shimoff showed up telling me about her Happy for No Reason program. I signed up, and as I was listening, it felt like a million light bulbs were going off in my head, one after another, just pulling together all the things I'd learned over the years, and it became really clear what I needed to do to be happy myself and to help others be happier too. So now I'm on a mission to help anyone I can take a faster track to this place where life feels so much more sane and balanced. I'll be honest with you, it does take a little effort if you're not used to it. But if you're willing to make a commitment to be aware of your thoughts and feelings and to consistently make conscious choices about them, you will be amazed at the difference it makes. As spiritual teacher Esther Hicks says, the greatest gift you can ever give another person is your own happiness. And in my experience, it's also the greatest gift you can give yourself. Now, the good news is that no matter what we've learned earlier in life, it's always possible to build new neural pathways to rewire our thoughts and feelings for greater happiness each and every day.